Today's primary election day in both Holyoke and Chicopee.
But the voter turnout is not what some people had hoped for. Western Mass News reporter Leon Purvis checked at polling locations in both cities and has more.
I am a teacher and I teach a government course, so if I didn't vote, I'd have a lot of explaining to do to my students.
Robert Serbrug telling Western Mass News why he wanted to come out and vote in the mayoral primary in Holyoke on Tuesday, to be an example for his students. Only 2 of these 7 candidates will move on to the November election. But City Clerk Brennan Murphy-McGee tells us turnout numbers at 11 Tuesday morning were not what she was expecting.
Just a little over 1,100 people came out to vote so far, which was a little disappointing.
Murphy-McGee tells us that's about 4% for in-person turnout. But we also have the numbers for mail-in and early voting. With both combined, that number is a little more than 800. That does not include the 4% who turned out at the polls. In comparison, the 2020 presidential election in Holyoke saw a 65% voter turnout. But Murphy-McGee was expecting a higher voter percentage for the Holyoke primary.
I was expecting 20%, but now with these numbers, I don't think we're going to reach even 20%.
Over in Chicopee, they too have a primary, a school board election, which is citywide, and also a Ward 5 city council race. We also have voter turnout numbers from Chicopee. Early on, 1% of voters had come to the polls. The clerk's office also received 25 mail-in voting ballots, and less than 50 people participated in early voting. And when we were at the Ward 5 precinct, the poll workers told us under 60 people had casted ballots. One Chicopee voter tells us she only knew about the primary after a candidate came to her house.
I would probably say it's just a lack of information. The only reason that I knew to came out to vote today is because she came to my house and told me.
If you did get a chance to go out and vote today yourself, polls in Chicopee close at 7 and polls in Holyoke close at 8 tonight. For Western Mass News, I'm Leon Purvis.